She will never say this out loud, but most women decide whether they'll reject you before you ever make a move. And the brutal part, by the time you lean in, it's already too late. Think about it. She was there, close, present, invested. Her body leaned towards you without thinking. Her voice softened. She found reasons to stay in your space, even when she didn't need to. And still you paused. You told yourself you needed a clearer signal, a safer moment, something undeniable. But here's the question no one asks. What if the moment was already undeniable, and you just didn't recognize it? Because while you were waiting for certainty, she was watching for something else entirely. And when it didn't happen, she didn't reject you in that instant. She simply recalibrated. The energy shifted. The door closed. And just like that, what could have happened never will. Most men think rejection is a reaction to action. That's a comforting lie. Rejection is a process, a silent decision that unfolds long before anything physical ever happens. Sometimes hours before, sometimes days. What you call making a move is merely the final test, and by then the outcome has already been decided. You just weren't aware of the signals leading up to it. What I'm about to show you isn't mainstream advice. It's not about confident slogans or pretending to be someone you're not. This is something far more precise. The hidden structure behind intimacy, the subtle, unspoken language through which desire grants permission. The quiet psychological shifts that separate men who hesitate from men who are never rejected. Because the truth is, those men aren't luckier than you. They're just reading a different layer of reality. By the end of this, you'll understand how to spot the invisible green lights most men miss. You'll know how to position yourself so that the shift towards intimacy feels natural, inevitable even. And more importantly, you'll learn the one principle that made men like Casanova seem effortless. Not because they pushed forward, but because they made it feel like it was never their move to begin with. But before you go any further, you need to tear something out of your head, something that's been quietly sabotaging you for years. While you thought you were doing the right thing, you were taught to wait. Wait for the perfect moment. Wait for the obvious signal. Wait until it's so clear there's no risk left. Let me ask you something. How many times has that worked out for you? Be honest. How many nights ended with you overthinking in silence, replaying a moment that almost happened but didn't? Because you hesitated. Because you needed certainty. Here's the uncomfortable truth. No one tells you the man who waits for certainty is the man she never sees again. Not because he's weak, but because he's disconnected. He's trying to operate in a world of clear signals when desire was never designed to be clear. There is no green light, no moment where she turns to you and says, "Now, this is your cue." That doesn't exist. Desire doesn't speak like that. It moves in fragments, in tension, in contradiction. It's in the way she says one thing, but her body leans in anyway. It's in the pause that lasts half a second too long. It's in the eye contact that lingers just enough to make you question it. And that's where most men fail. They see ambiguity and they freeze, because they were conditioned to believe ambiguity equals danger. So they wait. And while they're waiting, she's watching. Not for perfection, not for a rehearsed line. She's watching for presence, for awareness, for a man who can feel the moment without needing it explained to him. Let me make this sharper. She doesn't want you to ask. She wants you to understand. And if that makes you uncomfortable, good. It should, because this isn't about crossing boundaries. It's about recognizing the ones she's already lowering. Most men are blind to this. They hear words and ignore everything else. But words are the safest part of her. They're controlled, filtered, sanitized. Her body is where the truth leaks out. I remember a night. Nothing dramatic. No perfect setup. Just a quiet bar, low light, the kind of place where conversations stretch longer than they should. There was a moment where everything shifted. She didn't say anything different, but she stopped pulling back. That's it. Her body just stayed, closer than necessary, longer than normal. And if you've ever experienced that, you know exactly what I mean. It's subtle, almost deniable, but it's there. Now here's where most men destroy it. They interrupt the moment to clarify it. They ask, they hesitate, they step back mentally. And in doing that, they force her back into logic. And once she's back in her head, it's over. Because desire doesn't live there. It lives in the space before words. What men like you need to understand is this. Attraction is not built in the moment you act. It's revealed in the moment you recognize what's already happening. That's the difference. The average man tries to create desire. The aware man detects it. And once you see it, everything changes. Because now you're not guessing, you're responding. And that's where real control begins. Historically, the men who understood this didn't look like what you'd expect. Take Giacomo Casanova. Not the strongest, not the richest, not the most physically dominant, but he had something far more dangerous: sensitivity to the unseen. He could walk into a room and feel where attention was leaning, where curiosity was turning into something else. He once wrote that he never pursued a woman who hadn't already decided. Think about that. He wasn't chasing, he was selecting, filtering for signals most men can't even perceive. That's what I mean by erotic intelligence. And this is your first real shift. Your job is not to force anything. Your job is to notice what's already there and stop killing it with hesitation. So how do you actually read it? You stop listening and start observing. Watch her proximity. Does she stay when she has every reason to leave? Does the conversation end, but she doesn't? That's not politeness. That's investment. Watch for unnecessary touch. Not the obvious ones, the small ones. A hand on your arm that lingers half a second too long, fixing something that didn't need fixing. Those aren't accidents. Those are controlled risks. She's testing the space between you. Watch for exposure, the neck, the posture, the way she opens her body instead of closing it. These are ancient signals, older than language, faster than thought. They bypass logic entirely. And here's one most men miss completely. When she laughs more than she should, not because you're that funny, but because she's releasing tension, that laugh is pressure escaping. And if you don't understand that, you'll think you're winning her with jokes. You're not. You're just witnessing a response to something deeper. Then comes the shift most men misread. She shares something personal, not surface level, not small talk, something real, a fear, an insecurity, a memory she didn't need to tell you. That's not random, that's a doorway, and she's watching what you do with it. Because at that point, she's not deciding if she likes you, she's deciding if she can go further. Now here's the part you need to hear clearly. If you see these signals stacking consistently, not once, but layered, the decision is already made, not by you, by her. And what she's waiting for now is whether you're the kind of man who recognizes it, or the kind who lets it slip and spends the next 48 hours thinking about what he should have done. Here's where most men completely destroy their chances, and they don't even realize it. They go from zero to everything. 1 minute it's casual conversation, light, safe. Next minute they're trying to force a kiss like they're jumping across a gap that was never built. No transition, no tension, no awareness, just a sudden move that feels out of place. And then they sit there confused when she pulls back. Let me be clear about something. She didn't reject you because she wasn't attracted. She rejected the way you moved. You broke the sequence. You collapsed the tension instead of completing it. And tension is everything. It's not optional. It's not decoration. Tension is the oxygen of desire. Without it, attraction dies quietly. You've felt this before, whether you admit it or not. That moment where things are starting to build, there's a charge in the air, something unspoken. And instead of letting it grow, you rush it. You try to secure it. And the second you do that, it disappears. Because desire doesn't reward impatience. It rewards control. I'll give you a real example. There was a guy I knew, decent looking, confident on the surface. He'd get women into good situations, drinks, laughs, everything flowing. But he had this pattern. The moment he felt tension, he panicked. And he'd go for it too early. Every time. And every time the same result. A slight pullback. A shift in her energy. That polite distance. Not a harsh rejection. Just enough to kill everything. And he'd sit there thinking, I don't get it. She was into me. Yeah, she was. Until you broke the rhythm. Because what most men don't understand is this. The space between maybe and yes. That's where attraction actually lives. Not in the outcome, in the build-up. There's a reason anticipation feels stronger than the thing itself. You've experienced that in your own life. Waiting for something, thinking about it, imagining it, that tension, that pull. And then when it finally happens, it's good. But it's never as intense as the build. That's not accidental. That's how the brain is wired. Desire peaks before the reward, which means if you rush to the reward, you kill the strongest part of the experience. So what do you do instead? You stretch it. You hold it. You make that space between this could happen and this is happening. Feel electric, and you do that through control, not force, control. The almost touch. Your hand moves close to hers, but stops. Not awkwardly, not hesitantly, deliberately. You let her feel the possibility without giving her the certainty. Now her mind starts working. Is he going to touch me? When? That question is tension. The pause. You're talking. She says something a little more personal. And instead of filling the space like most men do, you hold eye contact. Half a second longer than normal. Maybe a full second, long enough for it to feel charged. Most men rush to break that silence because it feels uncomfortable. But here's what you need to understand. That discomfort, that's the doorway. On the other side of that is attraction. You just don't have the discipline to stay there. Then there's the pullback. You move slightly closer, then you stop. You touch, then you withdraw. Not randomly, not nervously, with intent. This creates a pattern, advance, pause, retreat. And what that does is it pulls her in, because now she's not reacting to you, she's anticipating you. And anticipation is where you want her. Not certainty, never certainty. There's a difference between a man who pushes and a man who creates pull. Most men push. They try to make something happen. The man who understands this doesn't push. He builds something that she steps into. And that's where everything shifts. Because now it doesn't feel like you're taking anything. It feels like something that's already happening, and you're both just allowing it. And here's the part that separates you from every other guy she meets. You don't treat escalation like a single moment. It's not the move. It's a process, a progression. Small steps that stack on top of each other. Each one testing, each one reading, each one adjusting. You touch her arm casually. She stays. That's information. You sit closer. She doesn't move away. More information. Your hand lingers a little longer this time. She accepts it. Now you're building something real. Not guessing, not hoping. Building. And if at any point she pulls back, creates distance, breaks that rhythm consistently, you don't force it. You don't chase. You read it. Because this isn't about ego. It's about awareness. Most men take that moment personally. They feel rejected. But that's not what it is. It's feedback. Maybe the timing is off. Maybe the tension wasn't built enough. Maybe she's not there yet. But here's the difference. You're not collapsing everything with one desperate move. You're operating in layers. And that protects you. Because small calibrations don't lead to big failures. They lead to control. And control is what she actually responds to. Here's the part most men will resist. Because it goes against every instinct they have. Sometimes the strongest move you can make is to step back. not forward, back. And I know what you're thinking. If I pull back, I lose her. No, you lose her when she feels you need her. There's a difference. Let me show you something most men never see. There's a moment, very subtle, where she starts to feel your attention as pressure, not because you did something wrong, but because you stayed too consistent, too available, too predictable, too there. And what happens? She doesn't say anything. She just slows down, takes longer to reply, feels a little more distant, less invested, and you feel it, that shift, that small drop in energy. And instead of understanding it, you chase, you text more, you try to fix it, you lean in harder, which only makes it worse. Because now it's not attraction anymore, it's imbalance. I've seen this play out more times than I can count. There was a guy, sharp, disciplined, had his life together, but when it came to women, he couldn't tolerate uncertainty. If she pulled back even slightly, he panicked. And the more he panicked, the more he pursued, until eventually she disappeared. Not because she wasn't interested, but because he removed all space. And without space, there's no tension. Without tension, there's nothing to pull her back in. Now here's where it flips. The moment you step back calmly, deliberately, without emotion, something happens inside her. A question. Wait, why did he pull away? And that question is powerful, because it creates a gap. And the human mind hates gaps. It wants to fill them. That's when she starts leaning in, not because you forced it, but because you allowed space for it to happen. This is where most men get it wrong. They think pulling back means disappearing. No, that's weakness. That's emotional reaction. What I'm talking about is controlled distance. You're still there, still present, but less accessible, less predictable. You end the interaction before it peaks, not after. You leave her with something unresolved, a sentence that didn't fully land, a look that lingered, a moment that almost happened, and then you're gone. Not dramatically, not cold, just gone. And now she sits with it, that unfinished tension, that almost. And if the attraction is real, it starts working on her. She replays it. That moment where you looked at her and didn't say anything. That pause that felt like something was about to happen. That slight pullback she didn't expect. And now she's thinking about you. Not because you chased her, but because you gave her something to resolve. That's power, not control over her, control over yourself. And that's what signals value, because a man who can step back is a man who isn't driven by need. He chooses. He doesn't cling. He doesn't chase validation. He creates scarcity. And scarcity changes everything. Now let's go deeper, because this isn't just about behavior. It's about perception. The moment you become slightly less available, your value increases in her mind. Not logically, emotionally, because now you're no longer guaranteed. And what isn't guaranteed becomes more desirable. But you have to execute this cleanly. No passive-aggressive silence. No disappearing acts. No games. This is precision. You build tension, then you step back just enough for her to feel it. You create the vacuum and let her fill it. And when she does, even in small ways, a message, a question, a subtle reach, that's investment. And here's what most men don't understand. People value what they invest in, not what they receive for free. So the moment she starts leaning toward you, even slightly, her own attraction deepens, because now she's part of it. Now she's involved. Now it's not something happening to her. It's something she's participating in. And that's when the dynamic shifts. Now let's talk about where most men completely ruin this. Their words. Because words can either hold the tension together or destroy it instantly. And most men use them like a hammer. Direct, clumsy, heavy. Can I kiss you? Is this okay? Sounds respectful. But what are you actually doing? You're handing her the responsibility. You're forcing her out of the moment and into her head. Now she has to think. analyze, decide. And the second she starts thinking, the feeling drops. Because desire doesn't operate in logic. It operates in flow, and you just broke it. There's a different way to speak, a way that doesn't ask, but reveals. You don't question the moment, you frame it. I've been thinking about this since the way you looked at me earlier. Notice what that does. You're not asking, you're stating. And more importantly, you're including her in it. You're saying this didn't start with me. It started with you. Now she's not being pushed. She's being recognized. And that's a completely different experience. Or this, when we get somewhere quieter, I'm going to tell you something I didn't say earlier. Now you've planted a future, not a possibility, an expectation. And her mind starts moving there before her body does. That's how you lead without force. You make the direction feel natural, obvious, almost inevitable, or something even simpler. I keep noticing how close you are to me. Now you've exposed the dynamic, without accusing, without pressure, just observation. And in that moment, she becomes aware of what she's already doing. And most of the time, she doesn't pull back. She leans in more, because now it's real, now it's shared, now it's no longer just tension, it's connection. And that's where the shift happens, from possibility to inevitability. This is what men don't understand. Seduction isn't about forcing outcomes. It's about shaping perception, guiding attention, building something that feels like it was always going to happen. And when you do this right, it doesn't feel like you made a move. It feels like you both arrived at the same place, without ever needing to say it. There's a reason the men who never seem to get rejected are borderline obsessive about one thing: the environment. Not their looks, not their lines, not even their confidence, the room. And most men completely ignore this, then wonder why everything feels forced. Let me make this uncomfortable for you. How many times have you tried to build something real in a place that kills it? Bright lights, people everywhere, noise, movement, distraction, and you're there trying to create tension in a space designed to destroy it. That's like trying to light a fire in the rain, then blaming the match. Casanova understood this at a level most men never will. He didn't just meet women. He designed experiences, specific rooms, specific lighting, specific layout, not for aesthetics, for control. Because he knew something you're only starting to see now. If the environment is wrong, you will always feel like you're pushing. And when you're pushing, she's resisting, always. I learned this the hard way. There was a night. Everything was right on paper. She was into me. Conversation was smooth. There was tension. But the place? Terrible. Too bright. Too exposed. People constantly passing by. And I felt it slipping. That subtle discomfort. That inability to lock into the moment. Like something invisible was interrupting us. And no matter what I did, I couldn't stabilize it, because the environment was working against me. That's when it clicked. You don't create intimacy, you allow it, and the environment decides whether that's possible or not. Now pay attention to this, because this is where it becomes surgical. Positioning. Stop sitting across from her like it's an interview. That's confrontation, that's evaluation, that's you versus her. Sit beside her. Now you're aligned, same direction, same space. It feels subtle, but psychologically it changes everything. Now it's not you against each other, it's you with her. That alone lowers resistance. Lighting, bright light keeps people in performance mode. It's public, it's controlled, it's guarded. Dim light, everything softens. People drop the act. They stop analyzing and start feeling. That's why things happen at night, not at noon. It's not random, it's biological. Sound. Loud environments force proximity. You lean in to hear each other, closer than necessary. And your body doesn't care why you're close. It just registers closeness. That's how association works. Now closeness feels normal, expected, natural, temperature. Slightly cooler environments trigger something primitive. The body seeks warmth, and warmth is another body. You think this is small? It's not. These are invisible levers, and the men who understand them don't need to force anything. The room does half the work. There's a line that should stay with you. Half of seduction is complete before she even arrives. Think about that. Before you speak, before you touch, before anything happens, the outcome is already being shaped. So if you're trying to build intimacy in the middle of a loud cafe or under bright white lights, you're not failing because of you. You're failing because you chose the wrong battlefield. Now we go deeper, because everything I've shown you leads to this, the part nobody teaches, the move that feels almost backwards. You build everything, tension, connection, environment, momentum, and then you don't go forward. You stop, you pause, and you let her move. This is where amateurs panic, because their instinct is to take, to secure, to finish. But the man who understands this doesn't rush the final step. He creates a vacuum, a small one, almost invisible. You're close, eye contact locked. The moment is heavy, and instead of closing the gap, you hold. Maybe you lean back slightly, barely noticeable, but enough. And now something happens inside her, because she felt it too. That build, that pull, that moment that was about to happen. And now there's space. And tension hates space. It needs resolution. So what does she do? She closes it. Not consciously, instinctively. She leans in. She holds your gaze longer. She moves closer. And suddenly, she's the one stepping forward. Not you. And that changes everything. Because in her mind, this wasn't something you did to her. This was something that happened with you. Something she stepped into. Something she chose. That's the difference between resistance and surrender. One feels taken, the other feels natural, mutual. I want you to really understand what just happened there. You didn't take control by pushing. You took control by creating conditions. That's a different level of power. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. This is what the best have always known. They don't chase outcomes. They build inevitability. They don't force moments. They allow them to complete themselves. And when you operate like this, rejection starts disappearing. Not because you became more aggressive, but because you stopped moving when the answer wasn't already there. You only move when it's done, when it's decided, when the door is already open. And that's the final shift. Most men spend their lives trying to break doors down, forcing, pushing, hoping. The man who understands this, he walks through doors that were already open, calm, unshaken, certain. And here's the truth underneath all of it. The one most men don't want to face. It was never about your looks. It was never about some perfect line. It was never about being good enough. It was about fluency. You were in the moment, but you didn't understand the language. She was speaking the entire time, through her body, through tension, through silence, and you missed it. Not because you're incapable, because no one ever showed you how to read it. Now you've seen it. Now you can't go back. So here's the question you need to sit with. If every moment from now on, every interaction, every escalation is based on you reading correctly, moving at the right time, and letting her meet you halfway, what happens to the version of you who kept getting rejected? He disappears, because he was never rejected. He was just unaware. And awareness changes the game completely. If you felt that shift while listening to this, even slightly, then you already know. You're not here by accident. Stay with this, because what comes next builds on this level. And once you fully internalize it, you don't chase anymore. You choose. And that's where everything changes. Now listen carefully. In the next video, I'm going to break down the exact psychological triggers that make her lose control and start chasing you first, without you ever asking, without you ever pushing. Not attraction, not interest, obsession. The shift where she goes from responding to investing. If you think you understand the game now, wait until you see that. Because everything you've learned here, reading signals, building tension, controlling the moment, that's just the foundation. What comes next is what turns passive attraction into active pursuit. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. You'll start noticing it everywhere. Now, that's for the next video. But for now, if you want to go deeper into this exact dynamic and see how to control her perception, her emotions, and the way she responds to you in real time, watch the video that's appearing on your screen right now. That video will show you the hidden psychological patterns behind her behavior, the ones most men completely miss. Click it, stay in this, because the longer you remain in this mindset, the faster this becomes instinct. And if this shifted something in you, subscribe, because this isn't surface-level advice. This is the part of the game most men never get access to. Like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Most men will never understand the game, but you do. I'll see you among the few.